Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. I'm going to skip across the lake on top of the lily pads, which means we're going to go really fast. I have 3 stories from Japan and 2 about the XRP community. The G20, it occurs June 28th and 29th of this year. The G20 summit is officially now with virtual currency on the agenda. The risk and vulnerabilities to the financial system will be discussed, along with money laundering and terrorism. That FATF is always discussed. But the most interesting information I learned from the Nikkei newspaper here in Japan is that tax treaties, a unified tax framework, is going to be discussed. They want to create something that is global, fair, sustainable, and has modern rules. And also today we learned that the virtual exchange Tao is going to launch in May. This comes to us from Yahoo. Yahoo is the #1 go-to news site in Japan, believe it or not. I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more about this exchange. They are doing a pre-registration campaign right now and will open in May. And then there was a big announcement on Friday with SBI. It was a notice to let everybody know that SBI was going to create a mining chip company, and they are going to engage in manufacturing of mining chips and develop mining systems. Now, this is not a huge surprise because I think Mr. Kitao really believes the timing for him to get into the market in creating a complete ecosystem is now. So there is true anticipation of the growth, and this timing presents a big business opportunity. What I want to point out here is some wording that I thought was very interesting. So when we read this, that the SBI Group will promote efficient, reliable, and sustainable mining operations to develop a sound and solid cryptocurrency market. When we look at that word sound in Japanese, the word used was kenzen. So it means like healthy or wholesome. And the marketplace, I do believe, is something he is trying to stabilize. That is the purpose for getting into the mining business. So once a lucrative business, nowadays it's really difficult to even break even. There are 3 big Chinese miners still with Bitcoin. Bitmain is the largest. They're having a little financial trouble, especially since the BCH fork. And then there is Canon Creative. No, it's not the Canon camera, but CANAAN Creative. They're out of Beijing. They are moving to try to achieve an IPO listing in the United States after they failed in Hong Kong. And then there's eBang. They also are very bullish. They project that they can sell up to 400,000 rigs this year, and they too are trying to IPO. So I think that when we take a look at what Mr. Kitao has been building and investing in, it's not a huge surprise. It is, though, however, an undisclosed US-based semiconductor that's going to help him create this chip. So it could be Intel. They are second only to Samsung. Maybe it's Qualcomm. It could be Micron. It might be Texas Instruments, or maybe, and I'm thinking most likely, NVIDIA. That's just my guess. There are 2 Japanese companies who recently exited out of this space. GMO exited in December, and DMM exited in January. So when you have less miners, to be able to solve those puzzles is less difficult. So I do also think that Mr. Kitao believes that the cycles that we find in all markets is just about to change, and he is going to be primed and ready to take full advantage. And what the person who's going to lead the charge here is Adam Trademan. Here's a picture of Adam. He has a very interesting bio. He worked also for NASA. He's a serial entrepreneur, lots of experience in the Bay Area. I think he's in Switzerland right now, but absolutely qualified to lead this company. It was really not a surprise for me also, because in the month of October 2017, SBI invested in this company called Because. They kind of stayed quiet for a while, but 2 weeks ago announced that they were going to use the NASDAQ's licensed software for their spot trading and derivative trading. But they are really big in mining as well. And if you take a look here, this is a photograph of, I think, Bitmain when they had approximately 25,000 rigs mining. So when I took a look at some of the team members on the Because website, I found that the director of mining talks about how they converted a 91,000 square foot warehouse, and they are going to be the largest mining operation in North America. And they will, he was, I don't think bragging, but maybe bragging a little bit that he had completed more than 17,000 switch ports. So I think that gives us an indication of the size and how many rigs they're going to have. That company, Because, is going to be a full stack virtual currency site. And what that means is, listen to this, not just trading, but you will be able to mine. And yes, you can mine with just investing in one miner. They have kind of an individual plan, a professional plan, and an institutional plan where you get into 20 plus or more rigs. But you can then mine, you can then sell what you mine, and you can also hedge what you mine. So they are calling themselves the first one-stop, full-stack cryptocurrency exchange. It's going to be very interesting to follow this. SBI made an investment and they took a 40% share in Because. And also, like I said, they're not they are not strangers to this mining business. We can see here in February 2018, Japan's SBI Crypto Mines had its first Bitcoin Cash block. So they have been getting their feet wet for a while. And July 2018, SBI made a strategic investment into the company Lancium because they were going to be a customer of theirs to host its cryptocurrency mining operations. So no doubt Mr. Kitao is creating this ecosystem that is really playing off the incredible synergy of all the facets that he has chosen. So I am very much looking forward to seeing how this goes when we finally see that market swing into the green. You know, when we talk about bear markets, there are two bear markets in the last 100 years that are worth talking about because they were long and painful. They stand out. The first one was 1929-1931, and for 2.8 years, the S&P 500 dropped 83%. And then, of course, more recently, everyone remembers the year and 3-month bear market where the S&P 500 dropped 50% between 2007 and 2009. So these markets fluctuate, and I do believe that Mr. Kitao is getting ready to take full advantage of when that market swings back up on the upside. Okay, everybody, this is Thinking Crypto. I think everybody knows Tony. He gave a very short and compassionate video today about how we need to increase the awareness of the Taxonomy Act that is being reintroduced into Congress. And I think his point was well taken, and I did do it. I chose to send my tweet out to all of the most powerful women representatives and senators in the U.S. Congress, and I hope that they do pay attention and get behind passing that bill. So grassroots efforts do work at times, and I really encourage everybody to do what I did. If you have a Twitter account, get that information out to your representatives and see if you can't increase the awareness. And another story about the community is one about Sean Schaefer. He started an XRP Torch, and that torch has been passed to many people, including C3 Nick and James Malpass, Weetsy Wind. Hodar received it and passed it to me yesterday, and I am going to pass it to Bob Way. And so Bob Way has accepted that passing of the torch to him, and I think that it's going to be another great example of how this XRP community works together. And here is Bob's Way, his LinkedIn. If you don't know who he is a former employee of Ripple. He worked for them for about 5 years, from June 2013 to May 2018. And he has been so kind to share his time and answer many questions and engage with the community through the XRP chat. And this is one page I want everybody to read. It is about pricing. And so before you discuss pricing in the future, I want you to read this incredible thread where people are talking about pricing with him. I think it's one of the best sources of information to understand the motivating factors of what moves the price. And so please take a look at this link. I'm going to put it in the description below. Okay, everybody. Gosh, yeah, we are moving to the fluff. All right. I am talking about community. And in Japan, for the last 400 plus years, the public baths have been a place of community for all the neighborhoods. These started back in the Edo period, like in the mid 1600s. And they have now really moved into a new and modern version of what they used to be. And they're called Super Sento now. Here is an example of a Super Sento. And we all love to relax in water. And it's one of those concepts that have been played out for centuries, actually, in lots of different countries, from Rome to, gosh, I was in Budapest, Hungary. They have a long history of hot springs as well. But this is one of the wonderful pastimes in Japan, and you can go for as little as $4.50 US in one of the older styles, or maybe around $20 for a 3-hour time frame in a big Super Sento, as you see here. There are so many Super Sento all around the country. I just want to show you a couple of pictures. This is one actually that has an outdoor area too. This is called a Rotenbodo, and they Super Sentos will have an inside area and an outside area. They are just so relaxing. I love them. I really love them. And here is another one that I've not been to this one, but this is a Onsen Monogatari. It's kind of, it's a cross between a jacuzzi and a hot spring and a spa. These Super Sentos are. There's lots of other services that you can get, like massage and exfoliation, body scrubs. There's usually some food and drink and relaxation rooms where you can listen to music, or I mean, it's just really, you can spend hours upon hours inside of these and feel so refreshed when you get out. If you know my Twitter handle, it is Sento Sumo Saba, and the first word, Sento, refers to these public baths because they are so enjoyable. So if you come to Japan and you want to experience one, you'll have many to choose from. All right, everybody, that's it. Do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.